Hello viewers, in our sequential discussion on Hat Pradipika, today we are going to discuss on the Pathya and Apathya, and in relation to Pathya Apathya we will also discuss on food and the relationship of food with the Hatha Yogic practices. So in our previous lecture we already have discussed the Yam Niyama, code and conducts of in the Hat Pradipika, and then we have already discussed the Mitahara, the concept of diet according to yogic system. So in this discussion of Pathya, Napathya and the relationship of food with the Hatha Yogic practices, we will discuss various types of things which are very helpful for the acceleration in the spiritual practices. So first we will discuss on the importance of food in the Hat Pradipika or Hatha Yogic system. In the beginning of the text we can see that a description is there about Mitahar, which is we can translate, the nearer translation of Mitahar is moderate diet, which gives an importance relationship between the food and spiritual practices. So actually in the Hatha Yoga our aim is to conquer the lower sensory activities of the human body. We always remain in our lower sensory activities, and we have to move our attention or our consciousness from these lower sensory activities to the higher planes of our existence. So this is necessary for our progress in the spiritual practices, that we have to move our attention from there. All these activities always gives us pain and sorrow and so many types of physical and mental diseases. So it is very necessary to move out from our consciousness from these planes. So because if our consciousness remain in those sensory activities, we always feel several types of problems in between our course of our practices. So it is very necessary here to put our attention from there to more higher planes. According to Sri Aurobindo, that the normal human consciousness remain in three major activities, which are described in his books as kama, which is nearer translation is desire, bhuk, which we can say hunger, and the nidra, which is sleep. So we can see that our all activities revolves around these activities. So if we see or if we carefully observe all our daily routine or our daily activities, so we can easily find out that our all the daily routine and all the daily activities are revolving around these three things, which are desire, hunger and sleep. Now in spiritual practices, first we have to conquer these activities, and in them hunger is one of the main important factor which always gives us so many types of problems in our practices. If these problems creates in our practices, so our practice always automatically stop there. Actually, if we cling to these activities, so we will definitely move in downward direction. Otherwise, yogic practices are very helpful in the transformation of these activities. So actually these activities are very helpful, but what is happening with us, that we always cling to these activities, and when we cling to these activities, our all sensory motions, our all sensory activities always indulge in satisfying these activities. So when we do the yogic practices in between these mundane things, so we will see that after some time, after a sequence of time, we will see that all these yogic activities help us to move our attention from these lower planes to the higher planes. So this is very helpful things here with the yogic practices. The main aim is here we are going to emphasis on food, which is directly related to hunger. The hunger which is stated in the Aurobindo system, as this is the main constituent which gives us pain and sorrow in the spiritual practices. Now our aim is to transform this lower human activity into spiritual and divinity by Hatha Yoga. So there are several things or practices in the Hatha Yogic system by which we can directly transform this lower activity to the higher planes of our existence. First, we have to observe our eating habits and then see carefully food stuff which we are taking in the duration of our practices. This is very necessary to see our, first to observe the eating habits, these habits are good or not good, because if we are eating so many times in a day, it will create so much problems, so much physical problems and so much of mental problems also. So we have to carefully see our routine, and in that routine of our eating habits, we also have to careful about the food stuff which we are taking in the duration of our practices. So repeated observation of eating habits will increase our awareness towards food, which is responsible for our bodily activities. Actually, food is directly related to our bodily metabolism and several scientific metabolism or several anatomical and physiological reactions in us. So we have to very careful about the food habits, because repeated observation will give us more awareness towards this activity. And if we do not take food according to the need of a spiritual practice, it will create disharmony between our body and mind. So this is also very necessary, because we are creating a harmony with the body and mind by the help of yogic practices. And if we are not doing according to our Hatha yogic system or a spiritual system, so we will make a disharmony, and this disharmony will never give us way to which we are going to achieve through these practices. So without this harmony, we cannot stand firmly in the Hatha yogic practices or spiritual practices. So that's why this is very necessary here. The food is the essential and very important factor which can influence our mind through body. So sometimes we see that when we take so much of food and overeating, so overeating always gives us more heaviness in mind. So that's why we see that there is a direct relationship between the food and the mind. So food we are taking for the nourishment of our body, but we are forgetting, we are ignoring the fact that food is not only nourishing our body, but also nourishing or also giving some pressure on our mind. So our scripture says that if we take less food, so less food always gives us power, and more our senses will go down from the lower sensory plane to the higher planes. So we can calm down our the downward motion of our senses through ahara nigraha. Ahara nigraha is a Sanskrit term which we can translate as control over our food. So when we control over our food, so we will see that the less food we are taking in the duration of our practice, so we will see that our sensory activities are going down. So in this way we can say that our food is directly related to our sensory activities. So that's why in the most of the yogic practices, advice for the suitable food and diet is given in the preference. So in the most of the yogic practices, not only in the yogic practices but in the higher spiritual practices, we can see that first the recommendation of suitable diet is given there. So these are the Sanskrit terms, the pathya and apatya, which is said to be the most suitable diet or most suitable actions or things helpful for the yogic practices, and most avoidable thing which are not recognized by our Hatha yogic system is said to be apatya. So meaning of these terms are any kind of food, stuff or medicine or instruction suitable for the practices are termed as pathya. And in the next section, apatya, we can say any kind of food, stuff, medicine or instructions not suitable for the practices fall under the category of apatya. So pathya and apatya are mostly enjoyed. These terms are very popular, and we can find them in the Ayurvedic system, because in the when we take the Ayurvedic medicine, so we can see that some pathya and apatya is given there, and by the help of pathya and apatya we can change our health routine, and we can change our eating routine, and by the help of that we can get betterment by the help of that particular medicine which we are taking there. So mostly in the Ayurvedic treatments we need to follow this system of pathya and apatya for the betterment of our health. In the same way, Hatha Yoga system also emphasizes on these two essential components of the practices, because these are directly responsible for our yogic growth. After defining Mitahara, Hatha Pradipika gives a description of not suitable food for the Hatha Yoga as those which are bitter, sour, pungent, salty, heating, green vegetables other than those ordained, and sour gruel, oils, sesame and mustard, alcohol, fish, flesh foods, curds, buttermilk, horse gram, fruit of jujube, oil cakes, asafoetida and garlic. These are the prohibited food in the Hatha Yoga system. Now we will see that a yogic diet should be simple and bland. Anything that is highly concentrated caused acidity in the stomach and overheat the whole system should be avoided. So greasy and spicy foods are under this section. Foods which create toxins and perturby in the intestine, such as meat, should definitely be avoided, because these foods will create so many intestinal problem and gastrointestinal tracts problems. So these are avoidable. These are must, we have, in the practice we must have to avoid them. In the same way, asafoetida and garlic are considered the aphrodisiacs, as these are supposed to stimulate the production of sex hormones, which is very prohibited in the spiritual practices. Of course, they are not harmful, and in a small quantity we can take them, and they are medicinal in the small quantities, but they are also very strong and leave a smell in the body. Whenever we take ginger or onion, this type of food, they always smells very much. So in particular, garlic hits the sexual energy in us and directly disturb the spiritual rhythm. So for maintaining the spiritual rhythm, we have to take these things in little bit quantity, or otherwise totally avoid them. So in the same way, when we go towards the alcohol, alcohol should surely be avoided, not specifically because it intoxicates the mind, but more for the reason that it destroys the liver and brain cells. And when our brain cells and liver cells destroys, so we cannot reproduce them and we cannot make them helpful for our maintaining our metabolism, body metabolism. So this is very necessary to avoid, totally avoid alcohol. The aim of Hatha Yoga is to maintain and sustain the body, but alcoholic substances are better left untouched. If we untouch the alcoholic substance, it will be very helpful for the progress in our spiritual practices. Otherwise, alcoholic substances are very, very dangerous for our metabolism or body system. So now Hatha Pradipika further says, unhealthy diet should not be taken, that which is reheated after becoming cold. So when we see that sometimes the food become cold, and after becoming cold we reheat that food for the use of our food in that diet. So which is dry. Sometimes the dry food we always use to reheat them, and after reheating we use that as a diet. So devoid of natural oil, if the food is dry, devoid of natural oil, we should not take that food which is excessively salty or acidic. Sometimes the excessive salty food and acidic food is stale, has too many mixed vegetables. So all these things are not helpful for the Hatha Yogic practices. So that these are recommended by Hatha Pradipika as not to take them in the duration of our practices. Now next, when the food is cooked and again reheated after it has gone cold, bacteria have set in. And if this food is eaten, it creates fermentation in our stomach. So it results in digestion, wind formation and acidity, which creates other problems related to our mind. So this type of food is also recommended for the Hatha Yoga practices. Dry food means that which is absolutely no natural oil or water left in it. Oils are necessary in minimum quantities, but in excess these are not recommended. And salty and acid imbalance the system. In fact, salt directly affect our heart rate. Our heart rate will become more high because we are using the more salt in our food. So if salt in it taken in excess, it makes the heart beat faster, and it creates so many heart related problems in our body. So many different types of vegetables should not be cooked together, as resulting chemical reaction can upset the digestive system and disturb our body functions. So sometimes we see that the pupils of India, they use so many vegetables together. So it sometimes creates some chemical reaction, and that chemical reaction can harm so much. So that we have to avoid the mixing of vegetable together. One who is trying to maintain the awareness of the higher aspect of reality should definitely refrain from the taking such substances until he establishes in that state of awareness which is given in our Hatha Yogic text. So some important instructions are also given with not suitable food for the practice under the section of apatya. As we have already discussed that apatya not only means the food which is not suitable for the practices, but there are some main instructions which we can hear from the Hatha Yogic text as fire, women and long pilgrimages. Also comes under this section. Therefore, Gorakhnatha is the founder of the Hatha Yogic system. It is said, the reference which we are taking from the Hatha Pradipika, the Gorakhnatha is also asserted there, that bad company, mixing with women, and bathing in the early morning, fasting and tasks which produce pain in the body should be avoided. All these types of things are also avoided in the duration of practices. Standing or working near a fire exhausts the prana or vital force. So that's why it is recommended that not to fix your attention or not to place your body as near to the fire. So bad company of always hurts us or always gives us more painful situation, and it always automatically stop the spiritual path. So spiritual life who thinks negatively in the spiritual life, they always go into the downward flow of practices. So people without any purpose in life, they always gives us so many troubles, so many doubtful situations. So they, because they are unaware of the importance of spiritual evolution, so they don't know how to enlighten, and they don't know the importance of enlightenment. So that's why these the company of bad persons are avoided. Involvement of women for pleasure alone deplete the energy and tax the nervous system. So that's why the involvement of women and mixing with the women is also avoidable. And for the long journey or pilgrimage or bathing in the early in the cold water is also not recommended in the Hatha Yogic system. So excessive fasting or long fasting is also gives a strain to the body. So of course it is useful to stimulate the digestive system to eliminate the toxins from the our body, and helps to bring the senses and mind under control, but under the recommended period. If we are fasting in the recommended period as according to our yogic text, so this should be, means this we can do, but if not recommended in our Hatha Yogic text, so we should avoid them. So Hatha Pradipika states further about the suitable food for the Hatha Yoga, as the most conductive food for the yogi are good grain, wheat, rice, barley, milk, ghee, brown sugar, sugar candy, which means the crystallized sugar, honey, dry ginger, patola fruit. Patola fruit means the species of cucumber, and the 5 vegetables, moong and such pulses, and the pure water. These are the recommended by the Hatha Yogic system. Whole grain and rice supply essential carbohydrates and vitamin B complex. Fresh milk and ghee always maintain the mucus linings of the digestive tract and alimentary canal. They neutralize the acidity or heat in the stomach which practices may creates. So sometimes we see that after practicing, all the acidity comes in our stomach and heat comes in our stomach. So all these things, mainly the ghee and milk, is very useful for neutralizing these things. Sugar is also very necessary for brain functioning as well as other body functions. Honey is recommended as it is pre-digested, and the wool food. So dried ginger is also agreeable. In the same way, in Gherand Samhita, the 5 vegetables are said to be Balashaka, Kalashaka, Patola Patraka, Vastaka, and Himalochika. So all these vegetables are given there in the Sanskrit terms, but mostly the leafy vegetables we can take just like the as recommended in the Gherand Samhita or Hatha Pradipika. So these are the 5 leafy vegetables which are similar to spinach, light and easily digestible. Pulses such as moong, red lentils, etc. are recommended as they supply protein and rich carbohydrate to our body. So pure water supplies oxygen and purifies our blood. So pure water is also very necessary in the Hatha Yogic practices. So finally it is stated that the yogi should take nourishing and sweet food mixed with ghee and milk. It should nourishes the dhatus, basic body constituents, and be pleasing and suitable. So when we take food according to Hatha Yoga system, so we will see that our all the dhatus means there are 7 types of dhatus. So to which we can say these are the basic constituents of our body. This is described in our Ayurvedic text as skin, flesh, blood, bone, marrow, fat and semen or ova. These are the 7 things which constitutes our body components. So anything which destroy their natural balances should not be taken here. So if we see that something is harmful, directly harmful for these 7 dhatus or 7 basic constituents of the body, should not be taken in duration of our practices. Now too much milk and ghee creates mucus problems, or excess ghee stores in our body as fat. So that's why too much milk or too much ghee is not recommended here. Just a little bit quantity which creates nourishment, which gives us more carbohydrate or more richness to our body is taken here. But if in rich quantity or if in excess quantity we are taking milk or ghee, so it will create so many metabolic problems in our body. So we have to avoid them. On the other hand, if you have allergic reaction to milk, so do not take it. If you are allergic to the milk meat products, so we have to take or avoid them in the duration of our practice. In the same way, rice creates swelling in the abdomen or fluid retention. So that's why we have to see very carefully which food is very useful or suitable for our body metabolism or body mechanism, so we can take in the duration of our practices. Sometimes we can see that Hatha Yoga recommends several types of food, but when we see them, so we will see that person to person this vary. And if we see or if we observe that this food is not suitable for our practice or suitable for our body mechanism, so we should have to avoid that particular food while that is recommended in our Hatha Yogic system. So now pleasing and suitable food, that's why in the beginning of the Hatha Pradipika it is stated that pleasing and suitable food is recommended for our practices. And we can see that while there is a description of the category of several types of vegetables, pulses and milk and milk products are given there, but beside this 2 words are given there, the pleasing and suitable food. So we have to discriminate which is pleasing and suitable for us in this situation. So if we take that pleasing and suitable food according to this time or environmental condition, so that will surely help us to make our progress in the Hatha Yogic practices, because individual body's metabolism is different from person to person. Which food is very pleasing and which makes us feel healthy and mentally content and stable, we should take that food in the duration of Hatha Yogic practices. So that food will never harm us or never give us any type of pain and any type of dissatisfied situation. So in conclusion, we can say that after this discussion, it should remain in consideration that the diet given here is suitable for the climate and environmental condition of India. So when we go from the upper part of India to the lower part of India in every direction, we will see that all this diet is not recommended, especially for the particular situation or particular environmental situation. So because we can see that the weather changes from place to place in India, so we can make the discrimination between the suitable diet for our good health or suitable diet for our body. So nevertheless, most of the food mentioned are available all over the world. We can find all the types of food which is mentioned in the Hatha Yogic text. We can find everywhere in the world. And even if you are householder, such a diet will help you to purify your body and stabilize the mind. So not only in the Hatha Yogic practices, but in the household duties, if you are taking this type of diet, so this type of diet will make the stabilization of your body and mind. So in our next lecture, we will discuss on several most important topics of Hatha Yoga, as we will discuss there on the